what happened then is more or less entirely to blame on Elizabeth Gaskell. Yes, I'm blaming a dead person for my book buying habits. I thought it would be a nice thing to have a nice reading copy of North and South, which is one of my favorite novels. However, I only have this copy. This is the Penguin Classics edition, and as you can see, I use it for teaching and it's not very nice anymore. So, and I don't really want to read in my spare time something that I use for university and for teaching, or you know, the same copy of a book, because it also has all these post-its and stuff. So I thought, yeah, let's see what we can find, because the only other edition I have is a Norton edition, and it's just not very nice. It just looks very drab. So I got online and I started to search for a very nice edition of North and South. I didn't find a very nice edition of North and South. Instead, I found this. This is the Penguin Clothbound Classics edition of Cranford. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. And this was the first time I actually had heard of the Clothbound Classic series, and oh my gosh, I so fell in love with that series, and isn't it pretty? So I had to have it. And I bought it, and then I made the mistake to have a look what other books they had in that series. Yes. And that was the point when the book buying thing got slightly out of hand. I eventually found kind of nice edition of North and South as well. Unfortunately, they haven't done it in the Clothbound Classics edition. Instead, it's from the Penguin English Library, which has been done by the same designer, and I really love like these designs as well. The only problem is that they are not hardcovers, they are paperbacks, and I don't know what's up with these covers. They look so pretty, but they feel strange. I don't really like the way they feel, but it looks nice, and so I've got a new edition, a new nice reading edition of North and South. And I can swoon over Mr. Thornton again, and then I can watch the BBC miniseries with Richard Armitage and can swoon some more. So North and South. As I said, I had just discovered the Clothbound Classic series, so I started buying them. A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Writings by Charles Dickens. Jabberwocky and Other Poems by Lewis Carroll. Isn't it pretty? Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. And what I really like about it, it contains the illustrations by Taniel, and it also contains, and I was really happy to find this out, it also contains the original manuscript by Lewis Carroll, the first one he wrote for Alice Little, and the one he illustrated himself. So this is one of the illustrations done by Carroll, and this is also included, so this is really nice. The Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle. Funnily enough, Arthur Conan Doyle is the nephew of Richard Doyle, who is my favourite Victorian illustrator. I love his work, and yes, so there's this family connection to somebody I'm have done a lot of research on. Persuasion by Jane Austen. Isn't it pretty? Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This must be my 5th or 6th edition of Pride and Prejudice. So that tells you how much I love Jane Austen. But oh my gosh, it's so nice and it looks so elegant. I really love it. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Jane Eyre. Something happened with my camera right now. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. It's a really fat book. I haven't remembered that it's really so big, but well, pretty. Oh, this one is really pretty too. Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. I have never read this story before, and I thought I should one of these days. And after all, the cover is so lovely. The next one is really lovely too. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Isn't it, oh my gosh, awesomely beautiful? The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I love this in particular. You know, I love the colour combination, and I also love these parrots. Can you see them? They're just so nice. Yes, I'm really in love with this series. Then I discovered that Penguin also has a Puffin Classics hardcover series, and they are also very, very pretty, and so I bought a number of those books too. No, I'm really bad. Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This one is really pretty too. The Adventures of Robin Hood by Green. Isn't it pretty? And it's so nice and green. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This one doesn't include the original illustrations. I think this is a bit sad. It includes very few illustrations, and they were all done by Robin Lowry. They are just not quite so nice as the original ones, but still, I really like the format of both these and the Clothbound Classics. It's, you know, for reading, the books aren't too heavy. You can hold them quite comfortably, and that is also something I really, really like about both these series. It's important to have your comforts when you read a novel, especially when you read them in bed. You don't want to go to bed with a really heavy book. A few years ago, a hardcover copy of Diana Gabaldon's, I think it was The Outlander, it was the first one, yes, the German edition of one of the Outlander books fell onto my face while I was reading it in bed. That wasn't quite so nice. So I really appreciate when publishers make their hardcover books nice and light and